So in today's video, I'm going to be taking small panels. I call these pillow panels, or like even a tote bag panel. This one does have two. I picked this up at a charity sewing event. We all went home with one each, with the agreement that we would come back next month with a finished quilt for a young child or young gentleman, right? 13-year-olds still like Spider-Mans. What I'm going to do though is I paired up my charm squares. So I don't have it with me because I've already started working on them and they're currently in the car. I took my charm square box and I pulled out all of the blues, the reds. I ended up picking up some yellow at that sewing event. And I'm making 4 pouches of I Spy blocks in those blues, reds, and then we threw in some fun yellows because I had them. Again, this was my charm square box that I brought from home. There's very little that have a yellow thrown in. The majority of these blocks are a mixture of red and blues, solids, prints, holidays, right? School supplies. Super fun. I'm now going to take these 4 patches and do I don't know, not a trick, but do a technique that one of the ladies showed us. After I press this block down, I'm going to take my handy dandy little templates that they sent me home with. On my left side, I'm going to take my triangle template and I'm going to cut off this section of a 4 patch. I'm going to do that to probably all of them. And then with my second template, I'm going to cut off or cut out shapes in the yellow. And what it will do when I put those 4 together is create a yellow pop burst star type of effect. I don't have measurements or anything yet because this is kind of just a fly by the seat of my pants. So what I was hoping for with the size of the Spider-Man block is that it would end up being a 4 patch of these guys. Would roughly get me, you know, to the same size as Spider-Man, and then envision that yellow pop, right, that yellow starburst, and then I would pair it up. If my 4 patch unit ends up larger than needed, I will border Spider-Man to grow him to fit what I need. Came home with the yellow and I came home with like this denim-y color blue. And if for some reason the 4 patch is smaller than the Spider-Man, then I'll grow the 4 patch with a border. So hopefully I caught your interest and you'll stick around with me, and let's get started. So I have my first 4 patches set up. I went ahead and ran a yellow in this bottom corner and a yellow up in that top corner that's out of camera sight. And then what I want to do, see how there's like blues there? I kind of like that effect. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it where it's at so I don't cut the wrong section off. And don't mind the scrappiness, unevenness of these charms. They were, oh gosh, so I had a mixture of mine. I had a mixture from a donation bin, and I'm okay that it's not perfect because after this treatment technique effect here, I'll be able to take the whole unit, square it off, and make it work. I am all about using what we have. Yes, a 1/4 inch is nice when we have a pattern that we've purchased and cut specifically for, but I am totally a scrappy girl at heart. So we have 2. So that means the 3rd one is going to go here. And one of the ladies there, when I went to go press these 4 patches, well, when I went to go press the pairs, she was currently working on this. She had a purple and green, and oh, it was so pretty. She was working on it, and so I must have passed her right at the right time because it caught my eye, and she was able to explain it to me and make me a template set. Lesson here is don't cut to the left of the ruler. Goodness gracious. And then go ahead and do this last one. And this part that I'm cutting off is much smaller than the part that I'm gonna make and sew back on. So you can see with that mat in the background what that's gonna look like. It's gonna be really fun with that yellow. That's gonna match the Spider-Man's name. So I have my yellow fabric that they sent me home with. I do have it folded and doubled up, so I will clean up that far edge, and then I'm going to take the width of this guy. Since it's a solid, I'm okay if it gets, you know, flip-flopped and reversed. So the width of this is coming in at a hair over 3.5. So if I were to straighten him out, make sure he's nice and straight on there. He is measuring 1, 2, 3.25. Which is interesting. Why did it look like 3.5? Or was I, oh, because I was looking at the black number from the other side. I don't think I'm very awake right now. 3.25. Don't mind me. Fumbling and mumbling is my game. So, I'll go ahead and do a strip at 3.25. Was nice was that I got 2 strips out of that. So I'm going to leave them doubled up. Take my little template here. Run that across that long flat side. Clean off that bottom edge. And either I can use a marking tool, go ahead and mark, which might just be easier because of the angles. You can do this with pencil. This is a Frixon heat erasable. I'm not too worried about shadow lines coming back on this yellow because I'll be cutting right on those lines. If it was a directional fabric, it would need to be, you know, super careful on how you're placing the template because you don't want some to be in reverse. But in this situation, I think we should definitely be okay with the yellow solid being completely reversible. And as you notice, I was able to get 4 with it folded. So that's going to be 8 per strip. And then I'm doubled up. So that's giving me 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blocks. Is that right? I might be wrong. No, it's 2 blocks per strip because it needs 4. So it'll give me 4 blocks, which is just fine. And I think I need a new blade. Definitely have to get that changed. So I am just following the way that cardboard template is labeled. And get moving and grooving here. So with my pieces still laid out in the order that I wanted them, I'm just gonna have fun laying these out so we can get a feel for how that's gonna look. Because sometimes you just never know, and when you're trying something new with no actual pattern or math, it might not work out, but that is cute. So I take my oversized piece, I hang it off that 1/4 of an inch here in this top corner. Here, move some stuff around. When I go to put my piece, I'm going to overhang it 1/4 inch on both ends, and then I'm going to flip it, make sure that those 1/4 inches are there. I am going to pin probably 1, 2, 3. Do that to all 4 of them. Stitch them, press it back open, and then trim where I need to. So I have all the yellows attached. I will go ahead and lay them out real quickly. And then I need to trim them, square them off. So this is where them being a little wonky and them being a little, you know, sideways, it's okay. I'm going to find the smallest one and trim all 4 units to that one. And I have to go hunt down my square rulers because I think those are still on the car too. All 4 blocks were able to be trimmed to 9.5 nicely. So I did not use my square rulers. I actually just used my mat for that. So what I'll do is take these to the machine. I will go ahead and pair up the top 2, the bottom 2, and then piece the 2 sections together. Look how cute. I'm loving it. I love the scrappiness, the universalness. I mean, like I said, I pulled reds and blues and threw in yellows, but this could be in any color combination. I did split that center spin there. All of these press towards the long side of that yellow triangle, and super cute. I'm really happy with the way that that turned out. So it's going to be all about this final measurement, which is coming in at 18-ish, 18 1/4. So I will probably square it off to that 18 1/4. I'm not getting a full 18 1/2. Let's see what that Spider-Man was. If I start at the red, he's coming in at 16 1/2. So what I could do is just trim him maybe to 18 1/4. He's got one side a little low over here. It's not a straight cut panel. So even if I go all the way to the edge of this blue on the shortest spot, I'm barely getting 18. Even down here, it's not even an 18. So if we went again, only because of this corner here, let me bring that more into the picture. I'm going to focus on utilizing this. This ruler's not being my friend today. If I use that 1/4 inch line on that red, got a 1/4 inch of this blue all the way around it for the seam allowance. Trimmed that and then built it back up with the gold that was provided. And I can do that by adding, I don't know, I'll just make like 2-inch strips, go around it, and then trim it back down to the 18 1/4 like the other one. So using this outside red line with the 1/4 inch line on my ruler, I'm just making it as straight as possible. Going ahead, trimming that off, and then I will grab that yellow. We already know that it has that clean cut edge for us. So I'll go ahead and do 2 inches just to play it safe because of all the lovely seam allowances, right? So 16, 17, 18, 17, 18. Give or take with all that 1/2 inch we're gonna lose, and I'd rather be safe than sorry and do my math wrong. Go ahead and give us a 2-inch strip. And this was on the fold and it was doubled. So I at least need 2. At the length of, I'll do the top and the bottom or left and right, it doesn't really matter. And then after sewing these 2 on, I'll come back with this strip and do the other 2. So here Spider-Man is bordered out. Due to the unevenness of this not being 16 by 16 after I did it all, that's okay. We are going to find the center. And what I plan on doing, I'm just going to go ahead and finger press that center here. And I'm going to do it this way as well. This is how I'm going to know to get it to be the same size of that patched block. I have no idea how to explain it. It's all in my head. We're just going to go with it. So I have north, south, east, and west marked with finger press lines. On our patched block, we already have those points. Here, 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 and here, where those seams originally met. So, with Spider-Man now having the yellow, I don't want this yellow, well, they're all gonna have a yellow block to touch, aren't they? Never mind. That's okay. With Spider-Man having the yellow border, I was thinking I didn't want the yellow squares to touch it, but originally I guess I didn't know the yellow border was gonna be there. The fun of doing this without a plan. So I'm going to take my center seam, find that center hand press line. I'm going to take this center seam down here and do it the same. And I'm going to roughly guesstimate, right? We're looking at almost a ½ inch. A little bit more than ½ inch. So I'll bring that up just a hair. Now on the sides, and do the same thing. Find that seam and find that point. Go ahead and let's say that's almost 3/4 of an inch. This side is same thing. So now I know that my block is roughly on the center of that Spider-Man block. And to make these exactly the same size, I'm just going to use the patchwork one as my template. What I will do, because I'm going to make another pair of these, right? There was 2 Spider-Mans. I will actually use these 2 for those 2. That way I know the 4 in the end will be the same. I know this isn't, I don't want to say normal. I know this isn't the way it's taught in books or in patterns. But again, we are having fun with scraps and panels, and we are creating because we enjoy it. I enjoy creating. I love making I Spies. I always have. I'm very excited for this charitable sewing group. I will be attending once a month with them. So I am okay thinking outside the box. I am going to go ahead and pin here so that when I go through the sewing machine, you know, things don't get flipped and flopped. So the first section is done. Super cute. It is coming in at 18 1/4 by 36 1/4. I'm very happy with that size. I am going to make another pair, but flip-flopped, where Spider-Man is on the other side. And then to grow it even more so that it's not a child's you know, infant crib size. I do want it a little bit larger. I'm thinking 9-year-old size, like a great cuddle quilt, car quilt, couch quilt. After I get the second one made, we'll come back and evaluate how many blocks I have. We might be able to do a set of these blocks in between the two panel sections and then work on, you know, some border options to grow it. So here's what I have so far: a Spider-Man with a star, a center panel with this 2 stars, and then the top panel, which is a star and a Spider-Man. So currently 3 units. I will get these together and then I'm going to start working on border options. So laid out, the quilt top is folded in half. That way I could fit it in this space. What I have laying next to it is 4 patches. Keeping the blue in the top right corner for consistency and so that it still keeps that checkerboard type of effect. I threw in some blocks that had some yellows in place of those reds to bring them back in. I'm going to go ahead and run a strip on the left side and then match it on the right side and then calculate how many I still have left to work with. So I have the 4 patches on the left side and the right side complete. And now I was thinking of adding one final row to the bottom and the top. Turns out I am out of 4 patches. So as you can see here, I'm 1 whole 4 patch short. These were pre-made previously without a, you know, game plan. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is take that row of last 4 patches, go ahead and split them into 2 patches, and then run a thin layer across the top, and then run a thin row across the bottom, and then I'll fill in those missing squares with my scrappy stash of reds and blues. But so far so good. I'm really enjoying the way that this is turning out. So after removing the center seam on those 5 4-patch blocks, you'll see here that I have 2 rows lined up of just single red and blue I Spy squares. I've added in a couple fun ones from my stash. We got a monster truck added in, and way down here we got an earth added in. So I'm gonna go ahead and piece these up. So currently it is finished with all the piecing. It is 54 by 63. I am happy with it at this size and this style with the no borders. But since the yellow and the blue were provided for free through the sewing group, I am going to go ahead and border it and grow it slightly larger. Keeping in mind, again, the boy that's not an infant or a toddler, right? He might be 9, he might be 12, and some of those kiddos are quite tall nowadays. I completely forgot to record my whole process. So I measured out that leftover yellow fabric, and what I did was measured around that quilt top, right? I got the top, the bottom, and the 2 sides. I need 238 inches to go around it. So I kind of treated it like binding. I went ahead and did 2.5-inch strips, and then I sewed them together on the diagonal. And then I'm measuring out now the top and the bottom so that I can pin them and sew them. But it was, all I had done off camera was go ahead and strip cut 2.5 inches off that remaining fabric. And then when pinning this border onto something with so many intersections, I actually put the border on the bottom And then the one with all of those points I leave on the top because I'm going to pin these parts down. Can you see that? Yep. I'm going to go ahead and pin here. I'm going to do the beginning, scooch on down to the end, pin the middle, and then work my way back towards those starting and ending points. I know my words aren't there today. It's quite early in the morning for me, and I'm not really awake yet. I just knew I had time to get in here before going to work. Hence why I forgot to record that part, I'm guessing. So I go ahead, come to the center. And these guys, and that way when I'm at the sewing machine, this side will be facing up so I can control any flips, right? We don't like when our seams get flipped the wrong way. And so here I can see it, here I can pull the pin before sewing over them. And I will do this to both the top and the bottom. That way I just take them to the machine fully loaded and ready to go. I do pull the pins out as I'm sewing, and then I'll take it to the ironing board and press both the top and bottom before attaching the two on the sides. So the first yellow border is on the full quilt. This blue was also given to me from the sewing group, right? Because it's all fabric donations that we all start there, bring home to finish, and then bring back the next month's meeting or get together or sew day. So I actually really like it. It's not a bright blue, it's not a light blue, it's not a navy really. It's kind of like this grayish blue, and it tells me Primitive Muslin by Primitive Gatherings. I really like this up against that yellow, and I think it's going to be a nice tie-in. Plus it's wide. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 inches wide. And I'm gonna go ahead and do some measurements, but I might be able to get the full quilt out of this because there's some, you know, pretty long pieces already. So let's see what I can do on the math. So I definitely have enough of this blue, but these pieces are not the same width, height. Their length is fine. Their thickness is not. One of them's coming in at 5.5 and the other one's coming in at 4.5. So I am going to go ahead and trim these down to the exact same widths, and then take this chunk and cut 2 more 4.5s off of it, and then pin and border. Final size is 66 by 75. I had so much fun making this quilt for this charity sewing group. I will definitely be making one a month as I keep going to those little sit and sews. I do appreciate you sticking around and watching this video with me. If you'd go ahead and give it a like, a comment, a subscribe, and a share, it's always greatly appreciated.